Let's begin. So, thank you everyone for joining us this morning. The focus of today's topic will be on the real-time PCR on APOE genotyping. So, this test kit is used for the risk assessment before Alzheimer's disease therapy. So, for today's agenda, we will just brush through the Alzheimer's disease background, and then I'll talk about the available treatment for the Alzheimer's disease. After that, we will move on to the side effect of the treatment, which is the ARIA, and the biomarker of ARIA, which is focus of today, the APOE. I will introduce our solution to tackle this issue, which is the RT-PCR APOE test kit. We will go through the workflow, and then we will also include some competitor information before we finish the presentation. Okay, so let's go through the disease background. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder. Patients often have symptoms such as cognitive decline, memory loss, and behavioral changes. So, the biomarkers of Alzheimer's disease are amyloid beta plaques and tau tangles. So, what are these? They are actually toxin built up in the brain that disrupts the communication between the nerve cells. This toxin can also lead to structural damage in the brain, which will result in the cognitive feature of the patient's symptom. So according to WHO, currently there are 55 million of people around the world currently living with dementia. Of these 55 million people, 70% of them are suffering from Alzheimer's disease. So the paper also demonstrates the rising prevalence of Alzheimer's disease. So in 2030, it is projected that the number of people suffering from Alzheimer's disease will be about 78 million. The number will continue rising to 139 million by the year 2050. So unfortunately, there is currently at the moment, but treatment plan for disease management is available. So the treatment plan we will be covering today will be the monoclonal antibody treatment. So how this therapy works is the monoclonal antibody will target and bind to the amyloid beta. This will prevent the aggregation formation and also help to activate the immune system to remove these toxins from the patient's system. By doing this, it can slow down further damage to the brain. Therefore, this therapy is suitable for patients with mild cognitive impairment. So this is actually at the earlier stage of the disease. Okay, so currently there are two FDA-approved monoclonal antibodies treatment. The first one is lecanemab from the brand Leqembi. The second one is donanemab by the brand Kisunla. So these two works the same way by reducing the amyloid plaques in the brain, and they are also suitable for patients at the early stage of Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so now that we have covered the disease background and treatment available, we will go into the side effect of the treatment. So even though we have a solution to manage the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, there are still side effects that can arise from the therapy. So for the monoclonal antibody, the side effect will be ARIA, amyloid-related imaging abnormalities. This is a very harmful side effect. Patients suffering from ARIA typically have headache, nausea, and loss of consciousness. So there are two types of ARIA. The first one is edema, where there is swelling in one or more areas in the brain. And the second one is hemorrhage, where there is bleeding spots on the brain surface. So because edema and hemorrhage are involved, ARIA can actually be life-threatening. So the major risk factor in the development of this side effect is called apolipoprotein E, which will be called APOE from here on, especially patients carrying the allele E4. So because of the severe side effect, the treatment Leqembi actually recommend to perform APOE genotyping on the patient prior to the initiation of the therapy. Something to note also, in UK, patients who are homozygous E4 carrier are actually not allowed to undergo the therapy. This is because the risk of developing the side effect ARIA outweighs the benefit of the treatment. So what is this APOE? It is actually a protein essential for neuronal function and maintenance. There are three isoforms of the APOE protein, which are E2, E3, and E4. These isoforms are due to a mutation in the APOE genomic sequence. So what are the differences of these isoforms? Patients who are E2 carrier are associated with reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. This means that people having this gene actually are protected against Alzheimer's. People with E3 allele is the wild type form, which means the majority of the population carries this gene. And E4, which is the focus of today, is associated with increased risk of Alzheimer's disease, and it is also associated with the development of the side effect ARIA. So looking at this table, we can see that homozygous E4 carrier actually demonstrates about 33% rate of developing ARIA, whereas looking at the E4 non-carrier, it's only about 5.4%. So here we can see that the haploid type of the APOE can affect the risk of ARIA development. Homozygous E4 carrier has higher risk than heterozygous E4 carrier, whereas non-E4 carrier has the lowest risk of carrying this development of ARIA. So after understanding what is ARIA and understanding what is the risk factor for it, we will go into the solution. So the solution offered by Euroimmun would be the RT-PCR test kit for risk assessment of the side effect ARIA. It comes in two formats, 25 reactions per kit and 100 reactions per kit. Each kit comes with a PCR kit. Each kit comes with a PCR mix and an internal positive control. So this kit is able to detect all 6 APOE and distinguish between heterozygous and homozygous E4 allele. This is important because, as mentioned just now, E4 carriers has much higher risk than non-E4 carriers. Okay? Next, the sample type we will be using in this test kit would be the extracted DNA from whole blood. And then the test uses real-time monitoring of PCR amplification of the targeted DNA molecules. Evaluation of the result will be done automatically by the software Euro Real-Time Analysis. So let's go into the workflow. First, we will need to prepare PCR mix. So these two comes in the kit, mix A and mix B. We just need to mix them together and let them become a PCR mix, master mix. So after PCR master mix is ready, we will then add in sample or the control into the respective vessels. Once this is done, these vessels are placed into a PCR cycler. The cycler will take about 1.5 hours to complete. After that, the data will be automatically transferred to the Euro real-time software for result analysis and report compilation. So this entire workflow is very simple, it's robust, and it's quick, all thanks to the ready-for-use reagents and the straightforward pipetting step. So what it means by ready-for-use reagent is that we do not need to carry out extra dilution step. Everything that comes in the test kit can be used directly. Okay, so currently in the market, there are a lot of PCR test kits and and they are also quite commonly used in different labs. So we have validated some third-party test kit and automation. First one will be QIAGEN's DNA extraction kit, and also the following PCR system from Thermo Fisher and Bio-Rad. So these can help for the APOE PCR test kit to incorporate into the user's current workflow. Aside from that, our parent company Revvity also offers automation solutions. For example, the Chemagic 360 that carries out the nucleic acid extraction automatically. So we also offer another one-step solution automation, which is called the PreNet tool. Aside from the nucleic acid extraction, it can also carry out the PCR. Okay, so after PCR is done, we will go into the report analysis. The real-time analysis software will automatically analyze the data and generate a report that looks like this. So on the report, we can see the test name, the sample ID, parameter, and the qualitative result. So in this case, the APOE genotype over here, E4 homozygous, will be determined based on the nucleotide detected at these 4 SNPs on the APOE genomic sequence. This might sound a bit confusing for people without biology background. Just an introduction on how the result is determined. So at these 4 locations, it will detect whether the SNPs are detected or not, and then display the result that looks like this. Okay, so patients carrying the E4 allele will have higher association to the risk of ARIA comparing to the E2 and E3. Okay, so now we are in the competitor information sharing session. So in the market currently, aside from Euroimmun, there are 3 other brands offering PCR kit for APOE genotyping. They are Bioneer, Bruker, and Immune Diagnostic. So all 3 are offering the same marker, heterozygous and homozygous E4 allele. But the difference is only Euroimmun is certified with IVDR. The difference between IVDR and the IVD is that IVDR is actually the latest regulation for clinical diagnostic application. It offers higher standards in the quality and safety, and only Euroimmun is certified. Aside from that, all methods uses RT-PCR except for Bruker. And then all of us can use DNA extracted from blood, and Bioneer offer an extra option for sample type. And for validated RT-PCR, Euroimmun and Immune Diagnostic offers 3, but Immune Diagnostic is not certified. For automation solution, all of us offer except for Immune Diagnostic as well. Okay, so before we go into the SWOT analysis, we will go through the summary on the key points of real-time APOE test kit. So this test kit offer diagnostic application on the risk assessment of ARIA prior to administering the monoclonal antibody treatment. It is recommended to perform a APOE genotyping as recommended by the treatment plan Leqembi. Okay, so as we are the only IVDR certified test kit, this can add quite a lot of points to this test kit. And it comes with a ready for use PCR mix. The positive control is also ready for use, and it's also included in the test kit to ensure reliable result. The very simple incubation step can provide a simple, robust, and quick trick of this test kit. Okay, so aside from the test kit, We also offer one-step solution automation, which is the PreNet tool. If user is only interested in the nucleic acid extraction, we also have the KeyMagic 360. In terms of result analysis, we have the software error real-time analysis that will automatically analyze the data and generate a comprehensive report. Okay, so the test kit is also very flexible because it is compatible with numerous real-time PCR cycler and a third-party nucleic acid extraction kit. Okay, so now we will go into the SWOT analysis. Our test kit is able to detect all 6 APOE genotypes and at the same time differentiate between homogeneous and heterogeneous of the genotype to assess the risk of ARIA. Each patient only requires one reaction and the reagents that come with the test kits are ready for use. We also offer a software solution, Euro real-time analysis, that will automatically analyze the result data and generate a simple report. So, as the monoclonal antibody treatment is only applicable for patients at the early stage of Alzheimer's disease, the number of patients we can use on this test kit might be limited. And also, patients who obtained for this test might not be able to reimburse depending on their insurance policy. But we still have our opportunity, as mentioned before. We are the only brand that is IVDR certified, and we can also include these tests in the comprehensive diagnostic portfolio because we also have solution for detection of the Alzheimer's disease marker, for example, the beta amyloid ELISA or the total p-tau ELISA. Other than that, including these tests in the screening panel can also help raise the awareness because patients who are carrying the homozygous E4 genotype or heterozygous E4 genotype will know that if in the future they have Alzheimer's disease symptom coming up, they know they are not suitable for the monoclonal antibody treatment. So with this, I will conclude my sharing session for today. Thank you very much. Now, if anyone has any question, feel free to ask. Any question? If there is no question, there's no question, then this would be it for today. And can anyone help to scan this QR code so that can provide a feedback for this sharing session? Oh, there is a question in the chat box. Do you have any customers using this kit currently? Currently, not yet because this test kit is very, very new. But we do have a few customers that are going to evaluate this test kit very soon. Any other question? Okay, if there is no question, then um, I will end this session at 11 if there's no further question. And feel free to email us if you have any other question. What's the lead time for this test kit? Um, this one I will need to check with our internal team and I'll get back to you.